Hello, everybody.
Oh, good.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? Put your thumbs up if you can. Uh, I'm glad to be with you, and with this guy named Eric Kilburn, who's one of my longest time friends and one of my oldest friends. I'm older than him though, and I always will be. So there. Welcome everybody. Welcome our Stam. Welcome Mabel and Bob and Natalie and Ken and Sam. Hi Sam and Joan. It's great to see
Sam might be his.
Kate Crosby.
Now,
Diane,
why aren't we getting the audio?
bunch of-
Let's use this audio.
who is this? And Louise. Anyway, we're going to get going here. We've been, I'm getting this. It sounds like you might have switched to a different language. I didn't switch to a different language. What? It's asking me. Sorry, it sent me this note. Okay. Welcome to Community Church of Boston. We do occasional Winter Friday shows like this, and it's always a pleasure. I want to tell you about some stuff that's coming up. For example, this Sunday on this same Zoom link, we have a speaker named Reverend Irene Monroe. She is a repeat offender on our pulpit, and she's speaking at last minute because we had Steve Kellerman had some health issues, and she's giving us a talk about W.E.B. Du Bois and a novel that he wrote about Black love. That should be interesting. And the music that day is a certain Kingsley Chen. Kingsley is 11 years old, and he is a child prodigy classical piano player. We did a whole concert of his, and now he's going to join us to supply the music for a Sunday. The Sunday after that, let's see, what do we got? A speaker named Molly Ames from the Middle East Children's Institute, Keeping Hope Alive, Middle East Children's Institute Story in Palestine. The music that day is our friend Max Ridley, magnificent upright bass player, and he is bringing Nat Mugavero, who's a 84-year-old drummer who's still got it like you wouldn't believe, like wildfire. So that's just a little taste of Sundays at Community Church of Boston. Different stuff every single Sunday. We also have some pretty magnificent speakers coming up. One is Trita Parsi, who also speaks on Middle East events. Another is Dr. Helen Caldicott, who is going to join us on February 19th. If I'm not mistaken. Another is Colonel Larry Wilkerson, Lawrence Wilkerson, who was one of Colin Powell's main foreign policy advisors. All kinds of stuff. April, I'll tell you about a really cool thing. We're doing a Joni Mitchell night with a bunch of Berkeley students, and maybe sort of an open mic kind of a night. If you're interested in singing a Joni Mitchell song, be in touch. Maybe we can fit you in, and other stuff like that. So I want to get going right into here, and introduce Eric Kilburn. Eric is my go-to guy on all things techie and all things guitar-y and all things car-y. Whenever non-scientific thinking, non-manual reading, non-anything me wants some advice on an acquisition, he's the guy I go to. And that has been true about guitars. It's been true about interfaces for Zoom. It's been true about gear. It's been true about vehicles. So he's my guy. And he's also recorded 5 of my 7 records. And he's, as you can see by the backdrop, got a brand new setup in Studio A of Wellspring Sound, from where he comes to us to deliver us a whole mess of wonderful songs of his own writing and of others' writing. He has a fancy new website up in place, and I believe he has a plan to spend, just like me, every waking minute he can writing songs and playing them for you, until we drop. Eric Kilburn, say hello to people,
Hey, everybody.
and then
Thank you,
sing us some
Dean.
songs. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Can I just see if, by a show of thumbs up, that you can hear the guitar and my vocal talking to you? Is that good? You good? Excellent. Yay. All right. It's just a miracle that we can do this sort of thing. I'm still not quite used to it.
Whoops, whoops,
you know,
whoops, whoops, whoops. Where'd he
I'm-
go?
I'm used to like rubbing two sticks together to make fire and things like that. So this is I'm gonna play a bunch of songs tonight about the passage of time, which is something I'm getting to know as I grow up. And I'm gonna start with a tune from my album from a couple of years ago. It's a song called "Memory Line." Excuse me while I disappear. Everything's okay, but my mind's not here. I made the station just in time. Punch my ticket on the memory line. Was it some not quite forgotten tune? Was it a picture, a place, a phase of the moon we can ride for a long, long time? From stop to stop on the memory line as time runs like a freight train. Years turn in a dream, and lifetimes sparkle like stars in the sky and move on. So long, so long. Goodbye. Perhaps when I grow up someday, is what my daddy used to say. We saw the twinkle in his eyes. There was so much we didn't realize, like maybe we didn't have to grow old. Maybe it was just some lie we were told. You can always go back in time, long as you got a seat on the memory line. As time runs like a freight train, years turn in a dream, and lifetimes sparkle like stars in the sky and move on. So long, so long. Goodbye. These ghosts of the past keep tugging at my sleeve. Echoes of a childhood. Do we ever really leave? Excuse me while I slip away. Something I heard my preacher say. She said you can't go back this time. It's a one-way ride on the memory line. So I get up each morning and I try to face a world that's changing at such a pace. I think I'm already left behind. Standing at the station on the memory line as time runs like a freight train. Years turn in a dream, and lifetimes sparkle like stars in the sky and move on. So long, so long. Goodbye. Goodbye. Right. And the crowd goes wild. I can't quite tell if you're going wild, but it looks like some of you are going a little bit wild. That's great. Thank you. So I got a bunch of lovely pieces of wood surrounding me here. Most of them have been built or maintained by this wonderful luthier named T.J. Thompson, who I just want to give a shout out to. He's just the sweetest guy and the most amazing luthier I've ever had the pleasure of working with. That first guitar that I played was one that I waited 9 years to get because he's so busy. But I got it about almost 10 years ago now, and it's just it makes me very happy to hold it. I'm going to play this next song for this guy Dan, who was in the studio last week, and I was in the kitchen building a guitar pedal from a kit, and he came in and he just looked like he'd been dragged behind a truck, and I said, "How you doing?" And he goes, "Man, I got a newborn. It's like 6 weeks old, and I haven't slept in more than a month." And so I dedicate this song to Dan, and hopefully wherever you are, you're sleeping. This is called. It's sort of a blues, as if a baby could sing the blues. It's called Baby Blues. When I came into your life, I was helpless as a lamb. I'm not always what you wanted, but I'm always what I am. I ain't no stamp collection, no weekend guest. I'm the reason you look ragged. I'm the reason you are blessed. I am a baby. What did you expect? Baby, what you see is baby what you get. Everything I can reach goes straight to my mouth. Sometimes it goes a little north, sometimes a little south. Come over closer to me, I will smear you with a hug. Put me on the floor, I will rub something in your rug. I am a baby. Party's not over yet. Baby, what you see is baby what you get. Well, they try to stop me crying. They do silly things, jump up and down, make funny faces, even sing. I wish I could just tell them I'm doing what I should, but they say, don't be such a baby, but it don't do no good, 'cause I'm a I'm a lesson in power. I know how to make a point. I don't have money or muscles, but I sure enough run this joint. There's a man and a woman at my beck and call. Look, all I gotta do is fuss a little bit and they come running down the hall. I am a baby. You look like you need some rest. Baby, what you see is baby what you get. Well, baby, what you see is baby what you get.
Wah!
Thank you, everybody. So I wrote this thing a couple of years ago. It's a sort of a, I kind of was thinking of an old time fiddle tune when I wrote it, and it's kind of a sort of a country blues meets old time fiddle feel. And It's sort of about things that happen where you know how things are going to turn out, but you do them anyway, or you have a sense of what's going to happen, but you can't always stop yourself. It's called You Just Know. And it goes like this. Briar patch, he ain't coming out. Knows he'd be an easy catch in that hungry fox's mouth. Rabbit won't come out. Fox can't come in. Fox gives up and saunters off, says, I hope we meet again. Some things you learn so slow. Some things you just know. Sometimes the truth will get you. Sometimes you don't know what hit you. Rich man sitting on a pile of gold in his mansion on the hill. All the trophies in this world and he's not happy still. Poor man got nothing but time and friends to see him through. He might have but one thin dime and he's glad to share with you. Some things you learn so slow. Some things you just know. Sometimes the truth will get you. Sometimes you don't know what hit you. Alabama left. I met you in that old bookstore. You knocked me on my duff. That was 40 years ago. I still ain't got back up. Mama tell me pretty lies, a whisper in my ear. I see you in that summer dress, darling, come on over here. Some things you learn so slow. Some things you just know. Sometimes the truth will get you. Sometimes you don't know what hit you. Yeah, just know. Well, this week is kind of a special week in my life because I am celebrating 35 years since my partner Kate Crosby and I got together, and we're a little bit of a textbook case in holding on to hope, at least from my end of things, because she dumped me 3 times over 13 years. And I nevertheless, I persisted. And eventually, well, you know, being a songwriter, you get to write about the relationship from your side of the story. Kate would probably raise her hand and say, there's another side to this, but she's not here and she doesn't write songs, at least not yet. So I'm going to play you this tune. It's kind of a story of our 13 or 14 year relationship in 3 verses. It's called Smarter. First time I met you, I was 3 days 19. I just come 2,000 miles on my thumb. You were a woman like I had never seen. I started laying plans and playing dumb. We walked to the park with my aphrodisiac guitar, played you blackbird, wild horses, fire and rain. I'd heard the gentle music could charm a woman's heart, and for a couple of weeks it sure did seem that way. Our love has been a dance, more than once I missed my chance. I saw you and one glance was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. You were so full of light, full of passion, full of fight. There were worlds to save and barricades to climb. And you lit a lasting spark, though twice you broke my teenage heart, and I did not appreciate it at the time. A dozen years went by before I looked you in the eyes. We grew closer once again, and then you ran. But the door did not quite close. You left it open, I suppose. Next thing I knew, I was after you again. Our love has been a dance, more than once I missed my chance. I saw you and one glance was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. Three times you left me, 3 times I did return. The 4th time round you chased me in the end. There's something to be said for a man who will not learn and ignores the advice of all his friends. It's true. You still keep me on my toes. You still look down your nose at my habits that you someday hope to break. And you drive me crazy too. It's a two-step that we do. 30 years along, it's a love song that we make. Our love has been a dance, more than once you missed your chance. You saw me in 14 years was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. So don't give up hope, anybody. If you had your heart broken, never too late. Is it coming through okay out there? It sounds, it's a good balance. Dean, any thoughts?
A couple of people are saying that you could generally turn both of them up. I
Okay.
hear everything fine, but a couple of people
Okay.
want some more master volume.
Okay. We'll give this a whirl. See if it works.
Thanks, Eric. Sounds
Tell
great.
me if I need to do it anymore. Well, I'm a firstborn child, and I know there are some of you out there, I encounter you all the time. You're like me, the person who has to say things in meetings when something's already been said, but you have to share the feeling because you're firstborn, and everything that you think matters. You know, I know I'm obnoxious that way, and maybe sometimes you are too. I don't know. I won't speak to that. But I wrote this song a little bit about that. It's called "Over Myself." I'm over myself. Well, not really. Do you think it would help if I were less touchy-feely? Maybe I wouldn't need to share every little thought like it was Shakespeare, something you just had to hear. I'm over myself. Nobody's watching. I'm not a big dog, more like a dachshund. But enough about me. How do you feel about me? Am I everything you hoped I'd be? Maybe it's because I'm a firstborn, raised to be the center of the universe. Maybe this upper middle class white guy got a little too used to coming in first. If I could say one thing about what's up now, I'm over myself. I'll try to shut up now. And if I don't get the joke, get a little conceited, 'cause I'm so awfully woke, won't you please just give me a poke? I'm over myself. May I ask politely? I could use a little help. You don't have to like me. There's a great big world out there, full of people and things I never knew or cared. If it's not too late, I swear I'm over myself. Well, not really. Ah. Don't you love major seven chords? I think the first time I ever heard a major seven chord was Paul Simon's song Punky's Dilemma. Wish I was a Kellogg's cornflake, floating in my bowl of taking movies. It's like, yeah, love it. Oh, yeah, let me play this one. I go to the Unitarian Church in Concord, Massachusetts, and there's a couch in the parlor that has a little plaque next to it. It says John Brown sat here, 1857. And I was wondering to myself, like, what was he doing in Concord in 1857? Well, it turns out John Brown was one of the original crowdfunder kind of guys, and he went traveling around New England in 1857 to raise money to buy weapons to kill pro-slavery settlers in Kansas. That's basically what he was doing. He may have framed it a little more gently than that, but that was his mission, and he raised $1,000 in Concord, which is a lot of money in those days. I think he wanted more. I think he thought people had a little more dough, but I think he scared some people. I think basically some people thought he's a prophet, and some people thought he was a terrorist. And a lot of people weren't sure. Anyway, this is a song kind of about his visit, and I just thought it was an interesting story, and I wanted to try and tell it. And oddly enough, this song was number 2 in the folk charts last February. The DJs just seem to like it. I don't know. So I'll play it for you. It's called The Wheel Meets the Road. The church parlor's faded couch would barely catch your eye unless you chance to notice a small plaque nearby. John Brown sat here, 1857, says the text, looking for rifles on his way out west. He traveled through New England, trying to raise some funds, needing horses and wagons, mostly needing guns. $40 for Sharp's long barrel shoots in rain and mud. Kansas bound with a promise there would be blood. Did you hear him preach? Did you hear him prophesy? See the iron in his jaw and the fire in his eyes. So few people would carry that load, where the word becomes deed and the wheel meets the road. Concord made him welcome and turned out to hear the news. Emerson, Thoreau, the Alcotts, 100 in the pews. At the end of the week, over 1,000 was raised. though few did believe he would really free the slaves. There was something in his face that brought caution and fear. He talked revolution and they thought, we don't want it here. A slave rebellion only made them afraid, so they made their contributions and sent him on his way. Did you hear him preach? Did you hear him prophesy? See the iron in his jaw and the fire in his eyes. So few people would carry that load, where the word becomes deed and the wheel meets the road. The church parlor's faded couch would barely catch your eye, unless you chance to notice a small plaque nearby. Yeah. Let's see. I think I'll play it with this guitar. No, I guess I'll do this. So I'll play you a cover song. This is a song by one of my heroes, Bruce Coburn. This is a song that's, I think, pretty close to 50 years old. Bruce Coburn to me is a sort of a model of a guy who's kept his artistic muse, his poetic chops in shape through 50 years of songwriting. His latest album is full of gems, and it's in my one car that has a CD player. It plays in constant rotation. This is kind of a blues tune of his. I was playing it the other night for TJ Thompson, and he didn't know what the song was, but he goes, "That sounds like a Bruce Coburn song." I was like, yeah, it is. So anyway, this is called Mama Just Wants the Barrel House. Let's see. I was up the road on Easy Street, watching everybody stand around and cheat. Man comes up and says, move along back to the corner where you belong. But my mama just wants to barrel house all night long. See the city singing like a siren choir. Some fool tried to set this whole town on fire. TV preacher screams, come on along. I feel like Fay Ray, face to face with King Kong. But my mama just wants to barrel house all night long. Sometimes I wonder where I am. I feel like I'm living in a hologram. Makes no difference who's right or wrong. Everybody's dragging and coming on strong, but my mama just wants to barrel house all night long. Yeah, my mama just wants to barrel house all night long. Yeah. Is that balance any better out there? Working for y'all? Good. Good. All right. I get to mess around with some fun tunings here. I just thought I'd bring a bunch of guitars so I didn't have to, so you would have to spend your time listening to me tune. So this is a COVID era song. I lost 3 friends during COVID, and this was a song I wrote mainly to one friend, and then I wrote the bridge when another friend passed away. So this is called Nobody Told Me. Let me just see if I'm in tune here. In case anyone's out there paying attention, this is a Nick Drake tuning. It goes from bottom to top, C, G, C, F, C, E. It's no matter what you play on it, it sounds depressing. It's perfect tuning for a song about people who died. Nobody told me about this part, the burden that comes with a beating heart. When you love someone so deep and long, and turn around and they're gone. We wail to the heavens, we rage at God, we shake with the power of a lightning rod as we gather here, crying in the pews for all the things we don't get to choose. Nobody told me about this ache. I shake my head like there's some mistake, some bad dream I will awaken from, and I'll hear your laughter once again. And we search for the answers, but the questions are wrong, and all we can do is carry on, reminded why the old man sings the blues. For all the things we have to lose. We've come so far, forever tempting fate. We thought we were in charge. That was our first mistake. Nobody told me about this love. Was it something I should have been scared of? The risks we somehow have to take, and the best choices we could ever make. So we open ourselves, and life comes in. It's a roll of the dice, and the odds are slim that we ever get out of this place without paying dues. For all the things we have to lose, for all the things we don't get to choose. Oh, so I'll play a little more upbeat song here. Wouldn't be hard after that one. A number of my songs might be called, I suppose, Mars and Venus songs, sort of about how men are trying to understand women and vice versa, and how we sometimes don't succeed at that. So this is a song from maybe somebody I know, I don't know. It's called She Do. I don't know why she loved me, but she do. All the things I put her through. You might call me crazy, but most days she seems to. I don't know what she sees in me. It's one of life's mysteries, just to name a few. I don't know why she loved me, but she do. I have known her most of my life. I never thought there was a chance she'd be my wife. I love the way she rolls her eyes. I don't know why she acts surprised when I do the dishes and clean up after myself too. See, I got a little notion if I play it right, a little sweet emotion come my way tonight, voulez-vous. I don't know why she love me, but she do. I ain't the best looking man she ever met, but I gave her a kiss she did not forget. I don't know why she loves me, but she do. It all depends on your point of view. Give her a minute, man, she'll tell you a thing or two. I'm a long way from perfect. If you take a short look, she says, honey, I could write a goddamn book, and it's true. I don't know why she love me, but she do. I'm not the cleanest dog in the yard, but if you give me a treat, I will try real hard. I don't know why she loved me, but she do. All the things I put her through. Might call me crazy, but most days she seems to. I don't know what she sees in me. That's one of life's mysteries, just to name a few. I don't know why she loved me, but she do. I don't know why she loved me. I don't know why she loved me. I don't know why she loved me, but she do. Right. We normally like play sort of two sets here. I'm going to play you maybe one more song here, and then maybe take a short break, maybe drink a little water, and let you socialize among yourselves. kind of a holiday period theme song. I remember during my sort of the early childhood years, maybe from like 5 to 14, my family, my father and his brothers and brother and sister got together with their families on Thanksgiving and sometimes on Christmas. And I remember watching with interest the way that the men interacted, my uncles. I felt like it was like a little class in how men are supposed to behave. And they were good guys. But I remember like absorbing it, you know. So this is sort of a little song about that in my life. It's called Tall Tree. Looking at the man at the head of the table, saying grace with a natural ease, cutting turkey, cracking jokes with my uncles, these men like tall oak trees. Everyone's on their best behavior, steer clear of politics and race. Your cousin's got a new black boyfriend, don't mention that to your uncle's face. And I never dreamed a day would come, the man at the head of the table, I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. These men were all sons of the Midwest. Their work and family was all they knew. Never talked much about their own lives, but they wanted to know about you. They were men you could always rely on. I thought it would never change. Now one by one they've all gone on, and the table looks so strange. And I never dreamed a day would come, the man at the head of the table, I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. The clan is gathered and we're holding hands. I gaze across at every face, looking at the man at the head of the table, as I bow my head in thanks and for grace. This family's not a Rockwell painting. There are struggles and there have been fights, but when I think of the strength we've come from, I'm pretty sure we'll be all right. My sister's playing piano as the children call the tunes. I still feel like I'm 8 years old, and I'm the oldest man in the room. And I never dreamed a day would come, the man at the head of the table, I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. Well, thank you all for listening. I'm going to take a short little break, and I'll be back in like maybe 10 minutes, maybe. Um, if you are interested in any of this music, you can download it from bandcamp.com, and you can also, my email address is in the comments, and there's also the CDs, and there's a website, erickilburn.com. I've joined the modern age, like 30 years after everybody else had websites. I finally got one this year, and there's information about the songs and about the music. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Eric. Is this new record on LP?
It's
So all
not
the
a vinyl
25-year-olds
record,
will buy one?
it's a CD, and if you email me, they're $13, which includes the postage. So if you want to PayPal me or Venmo me $13, I'll send you one. But make sure you send me your address. But yeah, it's I still am making CDs because you never know. Some people still play them. But people, you can also download stuff from Bandcamp and just put it on your mobile device or whatever you do, however you.
I have a nephew that plays nothing but LPs, and
Yeah, I have
and he
vinyl from like 1989. I still have some vinyl records. Yeah,
mine
if you want
go
those,
up to the attic to this room, special room I have that's called the Museum of Obsolete Media.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got
vinyls. I think last year vinyl outsold CDs for the first time since like 1986 or something. So it's coming back,
it's
I guess.
pretty weird, pretty weird. Hey, folks, while Eric goes and does this thing, I wanted to show you some new books in our community church library. Here's one by Linda Dittmar, who spoke here a few weeks ago. It's called Tracing Homelands, Israel, Palestine, and the Claims of Belonging. And it's one of the books that in a long time, I haven't finished a book. I just don't have time, and I couldn't put this down. It is Linda it's a memoir about growing up in Palestine, which then became Israel, and about her search in later years, numerous visits back to find if there was any Palestine left. It's a beautiful book, and there's also a discussion group coming, or a book group on it if you're interested in that book. Another one, I think my theme is octogenarians' memoirs, and this is someone who is speaking here in March. Her name is Eva Mosley, and it's called Skirting History, Holocaust Refugee to Dissenting Citizen. Eva is speaking here in March. She's a longtime amazing peace activist connected to Mass Peace Action. She organizes a series of classical music concerts for peace in Cambridge. Then Eva Mosley. Here's one that I just found. This is called Nazis of Copley Square, The Forgotten History of the Christian Front. And I heard it mentioned on a podcast, and I immediately had to find out about it. Nazis of Copley Square, Christian Front. It turns out that the minister at Community Church at that time was named Donald Lothrop. And there was something between the wars, which was this phenomenon known the rise of Nazism in the United States. The likes of Charles Lindbergh and Henry Ford and Father Charles Coughlin. And Donald Lothrop, Reverend Lothrop, took on this Boston phenomenon known as the Christian Front head on. And the way he did it was to invite their leader to come speak at the church. And then butcher him with questions during the question and answer. And then he went to a meeting of this guy's and demanded the same. And and butchered him for his Nazi views. And it's sort of Christian Front, an early version of Make America Great Again, truth be told. And it was in 1940, and it was right here in Boston. And the community church had this role in it. These newsletters that you read about this are really phenomenal. Then we have a book that's from our Bob Datilio Memorial Library upstairs. That we have about 500 poetry books, and this one is by Pablo Neruda, 20 love poems and a song of despair. And I've just picked one, and I hope it's not the Song of Despair. I hope it's one of the love poems. It's called Drunk with Pines. Drunk with pines and long kisses, like summer, I steer the fast sail of the roses, bent towards the death of the thin day, stuck into my solid marine madness. Pale and lashed to my ravenous water, I cruise in the sour smell of the naked climate, still dressed in gray and bitter sounds and a sad crest of abandoned spray. Hardened by passions, I go mounted on my one wave, lunar, solar, burning and cold all at once, becalmed in the throat of the fortunate isles that are white and sweet as cool hips. In the moist night of my garment of kisses trembles, charged to insanity with electric currents, heroically divided into dreams, and intoxicating roses practice on me. Upstream in the midst of the outer waves, your parallel body yields to my arms. Like a fish infinitely fastened to my soul, quick and slow, in the energy under the sky. I think that was a love poem and not a song of despair. Pablo Neruda, the great Chilean master of poetry. And finally, my favorite. I read it every chance I get on the day that is designated. January 26th. This is a book of days, Children of the Days, it's called. And here's what it says for January 26th. It's called The Second Founding of Bolivia. On this day in the year 2009, a plebiscite said yes to a new constitution proposed by President Evo Morales. Up to this day, Indians were not the sons and daughters of Bolivia. They were only its hired hands. In 1825, the first constitution bestowed citizenship on 3 or 4% of the population. The rest, indigenous people, women, the poor, the illiterate, were not invited to the party. For many foreign journalists, Bolivia is an ungovernable country, incompetent, incomprehensible, intractable, insane. They've got the wrong, quote unquote, in. They should just admit that for them, Bolivia is invisible. And that should come as no surprise, for until today, Bolivia was blind to itself. Thank you, Bolivia. I'll make a quick announcement also far in advance. It's Friday, May 24th, and it happens to be my 70th birthday. And I will be celebrating it with a benefit concert for Community Church of Boston, May 24th. And I've enlisted the likes of a certain Rob Flax, who's a multi-talented violin and mandolin, guitar, and everything player, and a wonderful musician in his own right as well, touring the world with a lot of different ensembles. And he will be with me on May 24th, my 70th birthday, for a big celebration. It also happens to be the day that I'm going to officially retire from my sort of real job, which is Spanish interpreter in the courts, and going to hang up that towel as well, and devote myself to whatever it is I will be devoting myself to at that time, like importing coffee, like visiting villages in El Salvador, like doing this thing called community church, maybe in some other guise than the sort of fake minister and administrator. just being, oh, thanks, Bob. Great coffee, he says. Yes, and you know where you can get it, straight from me. My email address. I'll put my phone number in the text as well. I do mail order and also deliveries to local places like Roslindale, Jamaica Plain, Hyde Park, West Roxbury, that Brookline, of course, that sort of general area. I think we maybe have Eric back in the hot seat, ready to do his thing. And hey, again, thank you all for joining us. I did a whole series of these in 2021 when COVID I guess it was, yeah, was still raging, and did them every Friday. This time it's gone down to just like every an occasional Friday, and this is a special occasional Friday. And I thank Eric for sharing his music and his good vibes with us. Take it away, Eric.
Thanks, Dean. How about a hand for my old buddy Dean Stevens here? Thank you for putting this on, Dean. Dean and I have been friends for over 40 years, and one of the very first times that after we'd been playing, we played a couple gigs together, and I was having a hard time getting booked at the Nameless Coffee House, which is a free coffee house in Harvard Square, and Dean was kind of a star there. Like, he was packing the place in. He was playing with a trio of lovely people, Kenji Ogata and Judy Lunseth, and I was there to watch them, and he buttonholed the manager of the Nameless and introduced me, and he said, "Jim, this is my friend Eric. He's good. Book him." And like, it was there was a level of intensity and even sort of threat in Dean's voice, which, you know, he's normally a very gentle guy, but Jim, sure enough, booked me right then, and within a couple of years, I was the director of the place. They needed somebody, and I ended up working there for a couple of years. And anyway, the Nameless is still occasionally happening, which is lovely. This is a song I'll start out with about the fact that somehow we survive and sometimes procreate, and this is about the things that we do in an apparent attempt to prevent that from happening. That's a couple of stories from some lives I know. It's called Mystery Strings. And you just have to imagine the great local guitar player Kevin Barry playing a very like Mark Knopfler, Dire Straitsy kind of a guitar underneath this tune, because that's what he does on the album. Anyway, here we go. The river had frozen the week before as the 12-year-old walked along the shore, remembering her parents' advice. But her dog ran to the middle of the stream, and she heard a sound that made her scream as she turned and saw him go through the ice. The current began to pull him down. She yelled for help, but no one was around. No time for thinking, no time for fright. She ran toward him with all her might. 50 feet away, her dog waited. You think she made it? We will do foolish things. We will dance upon a knife. Fates weave their mystery strings, and we ain't owed anything in life. He was 18, running on lust, hitchhiking south to see one he could trust. 500 miles, backpack and guitar in hand. Now the only thing left in the way was rush hour traffic, an 8-lane beltway dodging cars. He tumbled to the median. breathless and shaking, he stole a glance at the hole a car made in his pants. Halfway across, she seemed so close. Besides, this would make a damn good boast. Tires screeched as he ran out with a prayer. You think he got there? We will do foolish things. We will dance upon a knife. The fates weave their mystery strings, and we ain't owed anything in life. You were raised with cautiousness, well-behaved, well-ironed dress. You always told your parents where you'd been. And I was raised to clean my plate, full of inbred Nordic traits. I took no chances, my mother was a Lutheran. Now the years have passed, and I can't believe that river girl was you, that highway boy was me. And now we're in this family together, with a child pulling on his tether as he finds sharper edges every day. No matter what we say, we will do foolish things. We will dance upon a knife. The fates weave their mystery strings, and we ain't owed anything in life. Mystery things. Things okay there sonically out there, folks? Can hear things? Still good? Yeah, good. Well, sort of, this is along the theme of a child pulling on their tether. This is a song I wrote when my oldest child was 3 years old, and he'd been walking for, I guess, a couple of years, but he really sort of figured out how to run when he was like 3. And when he learned how to run, he ran away. Like everywhere we went, he would run away. And we love him for that. And he is 34 now, 33. Just got engaged. Yay. I guess I can say that to the wide world. And we love his fiancée. This is a song when he was 3, though, had no thoughts of engagement whatsoever. He was looking to disengage whenever he could. And it's called Walkin' with the Boy. Arms akimbo, held up high, reaching for his own piece of sky. He don't know the reasons why. Only birds and bees and the dreams of children fly. I'm walking with the boy who is walking with the man. Something's going on I barely understand. So much love shining in my face, walking with the boy in a state of grace. If I can walk it, he will run. If I'm feeling funky, he can still have fun. It's a job he does, and it's a job well done. He finds my rough spots and he jumps on everyone. I'm walking with the boy who is walking with the man. Something's going on I barely understand. So much love shining in my face, walking with the boy in a state of grace. He's 1,000 questions in a world still new, and it's not what I say, Lord, it's what I do. Go on ahead, son, I'll catch up to you. Though someday soon this might not be true. Meanwhile I'm walking with the boy who is walking with the man. Something's going on I barely understand. So much love shining in my face, walking with the boy in a state of grace. I'm walking with the boy in a state of grace. I'll play a song about my other child later on in the set here. I want to have him feel left out.
Just so you know, he's on the call.
Yeah. Hey, Sam. Sam is a firefighter in the town of Boulder, Colorado, and he's an amazing guy. Don't mess with him. My wife tries to mess with him, and then she fractures her shoulder or something. Be nice to your mother, Sam. This is a song about one of the worst demons that I think a lot of us face, and that's the curse of self-judgment and self-negation. This is a new song that is called Yardstick. Mornings when I wake up, put my feet on a scale, I recall a goal I had in mind. But all I do is stare at the muffin top still there, and an ice cream cone is chasing my behind. Here comes that yardstick again. I measure myself and I come up short. Yardstick ain't much of a friend. I'm the judge, I'm the jury, and the court. I remember all those years. Jane never went outside. She was indoors playing violin alone. If she could make first chair, her parents said it was their fare for a ticket out of the poverty they'd known. Here comes that yardstick again. You measured yourself and you came up short. Yardstick ain't much of a friend. You're the judge and the jury and the court. I was very, very young when my yardstick was begun, with a bearded man and original sin. I hear my mother's voice and the TV screen's noise in a game I was never gonna win. Sometimes I look at you and I can't help wonder how you could ever love me like you do. But you just laugh and say it's not easy every day, but I'll keep you guessing another decade or two. Here comes that yardstick again. I turn away and I flip the bird. A yardstick was never any friend. When you're the judge and the jury, all you've heard, and I'm still unlearning all I heard. I'll play that song's just a few months old. I'll play a tune that's one of the oldest songs I'm playing tonight. It's a song about your parents trying to help you make not make so many mistakes, and they try and they don't usually succeed. And this is sort of a bunch of little episodes in growing up that maybe some of you will relate to. Come on. It's called Wait a Minute. Maybe it was love, maybe something else. Still my parents tried to give me some help, but when they said don't, it just made me want to do it. I saw that light socket, stuck my hand into it, and I felt a funny feeling right up to my brain. Next thing I remember, Mama's trying to explain. She said, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. I said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and I do. In my teenage years, you couldn't make me admit that my parents existed or that they ever did, like the time she and I were lying on the floor, doing things I'd never done before, when all of a sudden there's a light in the room and they were home early, they were home too soon. They said, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I've done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And we said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and we do. In the summer in the woods, me and my friends got loose on the wine I made from Welch's grape juice. It was a reddish-brown ooze. It bubbled in the cup. We all drank a quart, then we all threw up, and though most of us were better, by the next day, my friend Jimmy heard his old man say, wait a minute, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. Jimmy said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and he'd do. For any of you out there who might be interested in replicating that recipe, it's really easy to remember. Just a lot of ones in it. You take 1 gallon Clorox bottle with no Clorox in it, empty it all out now. Take 1 Welch's grape juice concentrate, 16-ounce can, 1 gallon of water, 1 pound of sugar, and 1 Fleischmann's dry baking yeast packet from the baking aisle of your friendly neighborhood supermarket. And 1 balloon. You shake it all up, put that balloon on the top with a rubber band. That's your sterile fermentation lock, because we know it's really important to observe proper microbiological hygiene and stuff like this. Anyway, that balloon fills up with air. It's actually carbon dioxide, so you're contributing to global warming, but don't let that bother you. You're in 9th grade and you want to get drunk. So after a couple weeks, it stops filling up the balloon, and you take off the balloon and you take it into the woods with your friends. And if you don't die, it's wine. I suspect most of the people in this audience have moved beyond that phase in their life, but maybe you had something like that happen to you. I don't know. Some of us went to work, some went on in school. Sometimes we must have acted like such total fools. We were following gurus, reading funny books, talking mantras and chakras and getting funny looks at the Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody said to eat, and we said, it's really wrong to eat meat. And they said, wait a minute, son. This is one dumb thing I have never done, but let me save you some time. Let me give you a break. And we said, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and we do. Now we're growing older, and some got wedding rings, some got little babies, and lots of other things, and we still want our children to be better than us. Things have not changed all that much, 'cause folks are gonna whisper in their little one's ear, and the child will pretend, but they don't really hear us say, wait a minute, daughter, wait a minute, son, don't you do all the dumb things I have done. Let me save you some time, let me give you a break. And they say, no, I want to make my own mistakes, and they do, and we do. So I'll play a tune. I guess I kind of have to thank Ron DeSantis for this song. He, a couple of years ago, he was trying to ban anything vaguely close to what they were calling critical race theory in classrooms. So they didn't want the fragile young white minds of Florida learning about racism in America. Are you guys okay? I heard something stopped. Are we okay, Dean? Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. I heard like a message saying something stopped.
I'll check it out.
So this is a song called "Lucky," because I'm lucky. No one ever followed me around a store. I don't get asked, where'd you get that car? Never heard the question, are you sure you can pay? I guess I'm just lucky that way. Never been praised for how well I speak. I don't get asked, what do white people think? Don't know what it's like to wake up angry every day. I guess I'm just lucky that way. Guess I'm just lucky, thank you very much. Everything's just ducky, I'm just such a lucky. Never taught my children what to do if they're stopped. They never learned to be afraid of cops. Both hands on the wheel, son, remember to pray. I guess I'm just lucky that way. Never felt a pistol up against my back. Never felt a knee upon my neck. Never had the feeling that my life was in play. I guess I'm just lucky that way. Guess I'm just lucky, thank you very much. Everything's just ducky, I'm just such a lucky. Guess I'm just lucky that way.
Wow.
So this is a song about saying goodbye to your youngest child when they go off to school. And you suddenly realize that like a big part of your life that was devoted to being a parent is no longer such an important part anymore. And how that's kind of weird and hard at times. This is a song a little bit about that. It's called Fledglings. Who are you? I'd like to know. For 20 years we've watched these children grow. You fed and clothed them and kept them safe somehow. And now they've flown, and who are you now? I still see you so wild and fancy-free. The day the test came back like a tsunami, some ancient force turned our wings into a nest. Now everybody knows the rest. 2 empty rooms, 2 empty beds, and bookcases full of the stories we read. We don't say goodbye, we say see you soon. and send them off with all our love. And good night, moon.